Actually, Michael Beeler, I'm gonna call on you. You hear, man?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, do you mind if I share our conversation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Um, I had a plan for this morning. I might throw a little bit of an audible. I might get back to plan. Um, I don't really get emotional too often, Jim. I feel like sometimes I just work so hard and so fast that things never really hit me and sink in. Like I'm flying in this business and I'm working really hard and every margin of my day is filled outside of work with kids and family and other missions that we're on right now. So I don't ever like get the chance to slow down and really let things sink in, like whether it has to do with milestones in this business or income milestones. Um, or just like relationships that are getting really deep and really fruitful. Like I feel like I fly a lot and then it comes in and floods me when I take a minute to slow down. And I'm having one of those mornings right now. And I want to share a conversation with Michael. It wasn't an out of the ordinary conversation, Michael. I get the like I'm not trying to sound cool, but I get messages like the one that you sent me all the time, and it doesn't really hit me unless I slow down a little bit. So I'm gonna read what you said, and I'll try to tie it back into my message for today. Um, First, you asked for a Schnitzer hat. I gotta order more Schnitzer hats. Um, and you said, you know, let me read this. I love everything you're doing, and you're an inspiration to me. Thank you for not only sharing your success, but being vulnerable with your struggles. And my response to you was, you bet, buddy. Don't give up. This is worth it. Just a simple response, but it means so much to me. Like you guys, this is worth it. Like, don't give up. That's the message today. Don't give up. And he said, Michael, you said I could share this, so I'm sharing it now in front of a couple hundred people. You said I had one of those moments right before Dallas. Well, guess what, Michael? We've all had those moments. It's okay. And you said you were hair's length away from making that decision, but you've put 5K in your bank account since you got home. Let's go. Give Michael a two clap or a round of applause. This is a Taylor Swift clap when you do that. We do two clap over here. So do one big two clap. One, two clap. All right, cool. But this hit me, man, because it means more than you know. So thank you for sending me that message. But I get these messages all the time. And Jim, I went from not no one believing in me that this was even real to people that want to learn from me, because of the hard work. And I've been here 3.5, almost 4 years. I haven't been here that long. I've just been moving so fast and so hard towards the vision that I have for my family. I don't stop to think too much about the things that suck. I don't stop too much to think about the things that could slow me down. And I think that, I've recognized in people that win here, they're the ones that have their mind already made up. It's already made. They have this preconceived vision that of where they see themselves, regardless of what happens along the way. My favorite part of your book is about like the paying the price part. Like I that resonates really well with me because we all are paying a different price. Every single one of you on the screen. How many are there here? 382? Y'all have a different price. You got to figure out what the price is and figure out if you're willing to pay it. Otherwise, you're going to negotiate that price every time something hard happens. Don't be a good negotiator when it comes to your dreams and your vision in this company and in this business. If not here, where else? If not here, where else? This business is incredible. Jim, I went from no one believing in me to people wanting to learn from me. I'm honored by that message that you sent me this morning, Michael. My wife texted me the other day, Jim, and we keep track of our deposits. I'll just share them here with you guys because I think it's something to look forward to. Maybe there's a few producers probably on here that make more than this. So, but like this is through building an agency. We went from our first 12 months in this business, Jim, $134,000 in deposits. Pretty good first year. I'm at 154 in deposits already this year, 3.5 years later. So I went from no one believing in me to people wanting to hear from me because I had my mind made up from the very beginning. And I wasn't willing to negotiate. And sometimes I don't slow down enough. In moments like this morning, they just hit me and tears flood in. And I take a moment to myself. And I appreciate Michael for you sending me that message, but we all have the ability to go do that. I've seen people of all different walks of life, shapes, and sizes come here and do this thing sometimes even quicker. Took us 34 months to get to 130. There's people that are doing it in 24. It's just crazy. And it doesn't matter about the time, it matters that you don't give up. All right. And I see this common thread in between people that win here. They just have that preconceived vision. They have that preconceived notion that they're not going to give up. Now, I've had a few of my team members on this call, Jim, over the last month. I'm thinking about them this morning. Like, what do they have? What's the common thread between them? So, you guys in the chat, I'm going to turn my chat back on and go away from Michael's message here. In the chat, like, tell me attributes about these people. If you don't know their names, that's okay. But if you do know them, just rifle off a bunch of attributes in the chat about these folks when I say their names, okay? These are the folks that have shared on this call that I see this common thread in. These people are important to me, okay? We had Britt Valentine on a future AO call last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. What is time anymore? I don't even know what day it is. We had Giovanna Mitru. She's an agency owner. She's about to hit 115. Just give me some attributes that like the first word that comes to mind about these people. We had Wilbur Smith. He shares quite frequently on this call. Okay, you guys may not know this name. You should if you haven't yet. He's shared here too. He also shares in the prayer breakout room on Fridays. McKinley Kernizin. What are the words that come to mind when you think of these people? Rodion Savelier. He shared on this call several times now. Sabina Fritsch. I think that was actually last Friday. She talked about are you filtering symmetry through you, or are you becoming a version of symmetry? Or are you changing it to fit your needs, or is like symmetry like generating a version of you? That was a really good call. Sabina Fritsch. What about Sarah Hadley? She shared on here a couple times. So like these are just a few names over the last month. People from my team, I admire these people. They all share a common thread. They had preconceived vision for this business. They're willing to pay the price. They all have a different price than I do. Okay, but they've made up their minds. So, man, just taking a second to slow down today, guys. If you remember anything from this call, just know that it's worth it. It's worth it. Whatever price you have to pay, it's worth it. All right. And the word of the year on my team this year was to be set apart. And the reason why I chose that is because people that are set apart just do things differently. And I really think that's the essence of this group. We want to do things differently. We want to be held accountable. So we have to enter into different rooms. Like we can't be in the social club setting, Jim, right? We have to be in the high challenge, high accountability club setting to get what we want here because we want more than just average. Average people are comfortable in social settings. They are chameleons to the setting that they're in. Those names I just mentioned, those are not chameleons. They're not. Straight up facts. Those are people that will raise the temperature in a room when they walk into it. They raise standards. And so those type of people that I just mentioned, they actually need rooms like this to thrive. All right. I don't want to bury all those amazing messages. I'm going to go back and read about the team members I just mentioned. So I'm not going to tell you to put a 5 in the chat or a 3 in the chat, but like raise your hand if you're here because you want that. If you put yourself in this room because you want more and you can't settle for average. Okay, cool. We're on the same page. All right, here's 7 things that you need to do to set yourself apart in your business this year. I love the digital hands, by the way. I see my screens moving like a bingo card. 7 things you need to do to set yourself apart in your business. Do the work when no one's watching. Okay. Everybody wants the spotlight, but few are willing to put in the work in the dark that it takes to show up on a stage or to become a top producer or even an elite producer. Okay. This is daily reps. So do the work in the dark. This is role playing. This is recording yourself and listening back to it. This is getting coaching and really being coachable. Like do the work when no one's watching. The version that you see of Jim today, it didn't just happen overnight. The version of me that you see today, it didn't happen overnight. I was developed when I got here. This business exposed me. Okay. It'll do that to you. And I dug deep on those things that it exposed. All right. So do the work when no one's watching. Number two, obsess over personal development. Your business will never grow past your lid. All right. You need to grow your battery in simpler terms. You need to grow your battery because the more people that plug into you, if you don't grow your battery and grow your capacity, do you guys know what it shows up as when there's more people plugging into you? Overwhelm, anxiety, and burnout. When you have so many people plugging into you, you can't handle it, you're going to burn out. You need to grow your battery. The number one sign that I can tell when a leader is growing is they face a similar problem to one that they've faced before. This could be a big problem or a little problem, but they don't revert back to old habits, mindsets, and patterns. So you're facing something new, or maybe it's the same problem that you faced last year, and you don't go back to the habits, patterns, and mindsets that you used to have about that thing. That's called growth. That's when I see a leader growing. And in simpler terms, you're facing a mountain and it's not a mountain anymore. It's a molehill. No big deal, Jim. No big deal because I've grown. This thing would have derailed me last year, but it won't now. I hope you're experiencing that. I hope you guys are going through things like that where you can really feel your growth. You're really pouring into personal development enough where you can look back at those things. You're like, dude, if this would have hit me a year ago, I don't know if I would have been able to handle it, but I can now. Number three, guard your circle aggressively. If you want to grow, you can't be a part of social settings and be comfortable with that as the only way to hold you accountable to growing because it won't. You need high accountability, high challenge. And oftentimes, the people that are closest to you, your friends, are the ones that are stunting your growth. So you need to continuously be guarding your circle and auditing who's closest to you and who's pouring into your life. Unfortunately, most of the times the boundaries that we need to set are with friends and family. Okay? I'm just being real with you guys today. We need to set those boundaries with friends and family because they can dim your light. Don't let anyone dim your light. But always be looking to top, like to feed the top as well. I wouldn't be the person that I am today, the leader I am today, without people like Jim and Sarah and the Roethlisbergers and just the people that I've surrounded myself with that are like, those are the people you want to get in a room with because they raise you who you are. They're thermostats. They're not thermometers. All right. Number four, take massive, uncomfortable action. Little incremental growth will not get you to where you're going. I love this too. I believe I pulled this from your book as well, Jim. But you need to set a goal so big that it requires everything within you and around you to change. You guys ever heard about like when you put a frog in boiling water? You don't like if you start off if you get a pot of water and you put a frog in it and you turn it up a little bit at a time and a little bit at a time and a little bit at a time, it'll die in that water because it won't realize that there's anything changing or happening. If you just turn up a little bit at a time, your dream here will die because nothing major is happening. You have to change everything in you and everything around you in order to and do something that you've never done before. Everything has to change. Everything. Number five, believe bigger than your current results. If you go down into my text message thread with Michael this morning, it was actually a Slack thread. I told Michael one thing that's helped me out here since the very beginning is that I've been delusional. And he said, how do I become delusional?" And I said, "Well, man, you're a believer. If you really understood the power that was within you, you wouldn't have fear over what you could do. Like just lean more into your faith." But I think faith is a shared common desire of everyone on this screen has, regardless of what your religious faith is. Faith is something that we all need. You need delusional faith that this is going to work out. So number five is believe bigger than your current results. Number six, stay consistent when things are not exciting. This is called mastering the mundane. You have to get really, really good at doing the things that get you paid. It's not fancy, it's mundane. It's the dials, it's the setting of appointments, it's the tie down, it's the confirmation, it's the follow up. That's the producing side. For recruiting, it's filling the funnel, activating agents, getting them plugged in, building relationships. Rinse and repeat. And then number seven, attach your work to a bigger mission. A lot of people talk about the why, and you may have one, but is it so clear? Is it so clear? I'm asking you, is it so clear? If it's not, get crystal clear. Do it now. Go take a day off. Get crystal clear. It's not a step backwards if you take a day off to do that. Get crystal clear. You have to attach your mission. You have to attach your work to a bigger mission. There has to be a really good reason why you're doing this. Okay? There's no reason to delay gratification unless you know exactly why you're doing that. There's no reason to master the mundane and be delusional and take massive uncomfortable action and guard your circle aggressively and obsess over personal development and do the work when no one's watching if this is not attached to a bigger mission. So what is yours? Get clear on that. That's all I got today, Jim.
Man, that's a lot to unpack. I loved Gabby's comment in the chat here. She's like, she and Fred are in the car for the next 2 hours. So she's like, we got some time to like process this. And that's what it's going to take. You know, one thing, Scott, you and I have never talked about this, but we share, I mean, we know this about each other, right? Like we share a similar spirit. We share a similar drive. And one of the things that you and I equally did without even knowing each other really at the time was we share that we drive fast, we drive hard. Again, I don't slow down often like you don't slow down. We're just moving. And in moving, you come across obstacles. And when you are a mover, all you're trying to do is overcome that obstacle. And so when you and I, Scott, would seek out conversations, we were reaching up, out, and around to people that knew how to overcome the obstacle that we were stuck at. You want to know what I see a lot of people doing? I see a lot of people stuck at obstacles, seeking other people who are stuck at the same obstacles, feeling like I need to talk to someone who's where I am. And then what happens is they just form this circle of talking about the obstacle, making the obstacle big, dwelling and obsessing over the obstacle, justifying and normalizing the obstacle, and creating a community of not overcoming the obstacle. I see that so often. I even texted my staff last night. I said, people are funny. They swear they want to change their lives, but they're addicted to their lives. So they want change, but they seek out people who make them feel okay about not changing. You and I didn't do that. We didn't do that. The only people I talked to, and this is going back to one of Scott's points of protecting that environment, the only people I talked to were people that knew how to overcome where I was at. Not the people that were stuck at the same thing. What are they going to do for me? They're stuck too. We do that all the time, man. Protect that. So I don't know, that hit me a lot when you were talking. I'm like, there are traits that you see winners have. And you want to share that, guys, like overcome the obstacle. Talk to the people who are ahead of you. Surround that, protect that, man. This was gold. I hope you guys screenshotted those 7. Sarah and I think several others at least put the summary and the arguments of the 7 bullet points. This was gold. This is a re-listen to and unpack. This is not a listen one time. You could listen and unpack each of those 7 things like a day at a time. Like this could be a week's worth of homework, this one call. Thank you for this, Scott. This was awesome.
Thank you, brother.